Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the language service provider, because even if it seems like it might be outside of their domain, to your point, have so much interaction with so many other clients in healthcare and elsewhere, that they may well and very likely have seen a similar challenge and can put you in touch with somebody, can relay the information about what was done, what was accomplished, etc. So let's kind of go down that path, with language service providers, because I think there are things that you can ask for and should expect from them that maybe aren't obvious. But let's talk about patient safety. What can a language service provider do to help with that? What should you expect from them?
So I think of my language service provider as a partner rather than a vendor. A vendor, a lot of our vendors, we get a service from them, and it's almost a one-way kind of a thing. We get a service, I'll call you if I need you. But with LSPs, they're very much a partner, especially when it comes to patient safety. I want to know how they're training their interpreters, and I might want to mimic how I'm training my interpreters to match how they're training theirs. A lot of LSPs have someone dedicated to staying up on the laws, Joint Commission standards, changes that are happening that I, in my day-to-day operations, might not have as much time to keep up with. So connecting with your language service partner to help make sure that you're staying on top of those changes is another great way to utilize their services. Your language service partner, I'm going to just keep saying partner instead of provider. Your language service partner can also help you with training. My organization is I think it's huge. We have about 3,500 beds total, and if I have counted properly, and there's a lot of staff to train. So partnering with my language service provider to help with training, making sure that my staff understand that just because you're bilingual doesn't mean you're an interpreter, and here's why. Making sure staff know how to use the VRI properly, when to use VRI versus telephone interpreting, whether or not there are resources. We've created a phone number for patients to use. So if a patient is at home and they need to call back into our system, we have a phone number for patients to connect to an interpreter before they call into our system. That's something that my language service partner can help educate my clinical team members about. Your partner should also be someone that, if there's a complaint, and there will be, there is no service provider that's perfect. So we all think the grass is greener. So I have one provider, and I'm talking with a language access manager from a different healthcare system, thinking, oh, their language service provider must be so much better than mine, or might be so much better than mine. What am I missing from them? And that's not necessarily the case. I think different providers have their strengths and weaknesses, but the grass is not always greener. So your LSP should be able to partner with you when it comes to quality concerns, documentation issues, prompt follow-ups on complaints, expansion of, I need more VRI carts in my system. How do I determine how many I need? How do I determine what the right amount of use is? Why is this group using the telephone more than VRI, or vice versa? Those kind of things. I think your language service partner can really help a language service leader do their job more effectively.